Ganondorf took over, and there's the big ceiling war, and then there's that last hero. So as if Link were to just kind of show up in that form of Zelda, which would mean Ganondorf would have to be in charge for a while, and or the war would be happening for a while, which would be interesting. And after Spirit Tracks is my other main thing. Well, is my main thing because you were breaking the blocks. Nice.
Yeah. Oops. I like how I can do this. Well, I'm running in the mountain. You'll see what I mean later. When it
Like my
catches
main
up.
thing after Spirit Tracks, because New Hyrule seems like a very easy place to put this game. Plus the technology makes sense with the future time. I don't see it going anywhere in the child era, though.
Yeah. To me, like, the child era has... There are a lot of possibilities you can get through the child era. That,
But the thing is,
like,
throughout everything, like, within the Ocarina main timeline, like, everything that's, like, not split up, there are major events listed between games, as well as the defeated and adult timelines. There are major events and things listed between games. Nothing at all is listed between games in the child timeline.
what do you mean?
There are just no events listed. As if nothing actually happened, because we know nothing's gonna happen between aside from Majora's Mask Link's actual death, we know nothing is gonna happen between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, because that Link shows up in Twilight Princess, and there would be no reason for him to show up if there was another Link. So no new links between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. That's the big thing.
Yeah.
And the only thing it really does say in between games for child timeline is Sacred Realm Protected, but that's referring to the fact that Child Link in Ocarina of Time prevented Ganondorf from taking over in the first place by not drawing the Master Sword or something.
What about...
So yeah, that's what that's referring to. And since it's the same Link that goes through that thing into Majora's Mask, we know that nothing can happen in between. And then there's just nothing written between Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures, and then that's it.
Oh yeah, although, what about after Four Swords Adventures? I mean, how does it end? I never played Four Swords Adventures.
I don't know how the game ends, but it is kind of interesting in the fact that Ganondorf and Vati exist at the same time. Which means Vati is, I would say Vati is an extension of Ganondorf and Demise, because Demise pretty much straight up tells you at the end of Skyward Sword that they're all the same. So yeah. That's why I think Vati is like a lesser form of Demise / Ganondorf, which could count as an extension, which might be how Majora's Mask Link dies. Maybe it's Ganondorf through Vati that kills him, despite the fierce deity mask that he is probably wearing. I'd say the only reason is because he got old. Like, that's why he was defeated. Or just maybe Vati got good.
Probably, I'm not sure. I'm not an expert.
Okay, so
Oh,
it
there
ends
it
with
is.
Vati is sealed back in the Four Sword, and Ganon referring to Vati as a puppet. You beat both back to back. So yeah, referring to Vati as a puppet kind of backs up what I've been thinking this whole time. So that's good. Because of that major end result in Four Swords Adventures, there could be stuff after Four Swords Adventures.
Yeah,
Simply because of his existence. But and it would to me it makes sense to not write anything after that, because it gives him a little bit of creative freedom. But there is definitely some structured stuff in between everything else.
Well, I mean, if
And
Vati...
I can see nothing happening after Adventure of Link, because they prevented his revival and have the power to keep preventing it.
Although, well, what I mean, what Daniel's saying is that Vati is sealed up back in the Four Swords, and
Right.
like even though he says you beat them, but if Vati's sealed, then that means he can break out, which means something can happen afterwards.
Exactly.
So I would best bet that maybe Zelda U is actually going to go after Four Swords Adventure.
Maybe. I could
Yes! You did
I could
it!
see that. I could see it coming after Four Swords now that you point that out.
Oh my goodness, that was amazing!
Whoa, yeah, I just saw that.
Oh dear, that landing.
And you survived the fall without any damage.
That's what got me. That laughing, like it was the fall. Surviving the fall was
I figured
like,
you're gonna take like half your health out or something.
yeah, it normally does. Like, I mean, no matter how far you fall, it'll never take out more than half your health. In Mario 64.
Yeah, I agree with DK here, saying Vati needs more love. Ganondorf's in plenty of games. Because let's see, Ganondorf, including Zelda 2, because since he doesn't actually show up, Ganondorf is in 1, 2, 3, 4, including both Oracle games, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 games, and Vati's in 3.
Ah. You come with me. Mm. Some of the 100 coin missions in this game is like really easy because there are so many coins.
And I just realized this timeline kind of gives evidence that there really is nothing happening in between Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures, aside from the fact that there's just nothing written. Because like Twilight Princess, you straight up kill Ganondorf, and then Four Swords Adventures says Ganondorf reincarnated, not resurrected, just reincarnated, like he was destroyed or something. Like he couldn't resurrect in Twilight Princess.
I'm stuck in the glitch.
Yep. I'm just gonna lay here hanging by my feet.
Oops. Pressed the wrong... Had the wrong screen highlighted. Ugh.
But yeah, like no, I don't think anything's happening between Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures. Because
I
like,
don't. Well, if Ganondorf comes back, if Ganondorf comes, like, does Ganondorf get revived straight at the beginning of Four Swords Adventure, or what?
I don't remember exactly when. I think it's before the event, like the actual gameplay happens, because you kind of go into it with chaos, and you need to go get a sword, and the nearest sword is the Four Sword. But
what happened to the Master Sword?
Master Sword? I heard somewhere that the Master Sword was forged into the Four Sword, but that might have been a fan theory before the official timeline, because the Four Sword exists before Ocarina of Time, which has the Master Sword. The Master Sword was also shown to be, I forgot this important detail, the Master Sword was also shown to be created in Skyward Sword, so the Four Sword couldn't be, so the Master Sword couldn't be forged into the Four Sword because it's just not in the right order for that.
What do you think between between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess? I don't know, really.
Nothing. I don't think the only major event that could happen, because there are definitely no links between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, because Link, the only major event is the Great War that Majora's Mask Link, aka that shadowy Stalfos dude that turns into a light wolf, tells you about. Like, he died in a Great War. I forget what it was, if he mentions it, which it doesn't say on the timeline, which is interesting. But yeah, he died in a war, and that definitely is Majora's Mask Link. We know that. So the fact that he shows up in Twilight Princess means that Twilight Princess Link is the next Link, because there would be no reason for him to show up there if another Link had already shown up. So yeah, there are no links between Majora's Mask, no new links between Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess. Any new games or lore coverage would involve that more, most likely. I'm gonna lose my voice. Yeah. And there's definitely no Ganondorf. That was my flaw when I said there was no games between Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures. There's just definitely no Ganondorf between Twilight Princess and Four Swords Adventures. So there could still be games, because there's Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass show that you don't need Ganondorf for any of the major villains to have a game.
Yeah. Same for Majora's Mask.
Right. Another one's between Four Swords and Ocarina of Time, with the Unifying War and perhaps a younger Ganondorf. Between Four Swords and Ocarina of Time, a younger Ganondorf. That would be very, very close to Ocarina of Time then, because it's the same lifetime for Ganondorf, the same standard lifetime, because he was a normal-aged adult at the time, I think. Yeah, because the Gerudos knew him, so he had to have been. He couldn't have just been like hundreds of years old immortal. Apparently, this guy, Supri Longart? I don't know how to pronounce that. He might not see the stream, because he's like, why is not playing?
What? Why is not playing? Hello, Sculling Heart. Suck me long heart. Your channel, it is. I don't know. It's
anyway,
probably just lost
so let's see what DK was saying. With the Unifying War, what was that? The Unification War.
It says my channel is boring. I don't know what the word boring means, but if
it's a synonym to strong.
Yeah.
Probably.
If you think it's boring, then why are you here?
Goodbye.
Basically.
But the Unifying War, there's definitely something there. I would say that there's another link, but as far as I don't think the Unification War involves a younger Ganondorf, because Ocarina of Time is probably the start of Ganondorf, because he was born.
Yeah.
And the only reason he became as powerful as he normally is because he got into the Sacred Realm. He has power, but he got truly powerful when he got into the Sacred Realm and grabbed the Triforce of Power. That's when he actually got the Triforce of Power. And in the case of him never getting there with the child timeline, that's because Majora's Mask, at the point before Majora's Mask, or during Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess shows that they tried executing him, but it didn't work because he was already kind of powerful, and then they banished him into the Sacred Realm, where the Triforce is, so he got the Triforce of Power. Therefore explaining why he has it in Twilight Princess and probably Four Swords Adventures.
I guess so.
And obviously he has it in the Hero Defeated timeline, because with Link not showing up, the Sacred Realm he had already gotten it for the same reason as Adult Era. So he just kept it.
I have a shell that I can ride round.
Oh yeah, I forgot you ride shells in Mario 64.
Yeah. They changed all the music there.
Oh, it's not the da 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 da.
Yep. See you suck me long heart. What would you like? What I would like is kind of like another Four Swords, but in a